What's happening, everybody? It's Chris with Lone Wolf DIY. Today, I'm very excited because we have everything submitted to the city to see if we can do our build there. The guy that built this house put it right on the property line, so the zoning is a little iffy, so we got to hear what's going on with that. Of course, the guy before us screwed everything up, and we got to clean up his mess. We got the zoning back here. Everything is too close to the street, so we're going to have to take out a bunch of that dirt, maybe even that fence, and move everything back in here and get rid of this garden so we can get our build going. So we're going to take this tiny-ass garage that's way too close to the road, and we're going to expand that to a 24 by 24 double garage. I can't wait. I got all kinds of cool plans to put in there, so make sure to stick around, like and subscribe, and hit that notification button because we got a really cool project coming up. Thanks, everybody. Stick around and check this out. All right, now you got to always get started with your zoning and your permits and your building codes and that kind of thing, because if you put all kinds of investment into your project, there's a really good chance you're going to shoot yourself in the foot and in the wallet. So the city said we need to consider a few things when we're going to do our permits. So what they said was we need to make sure to have 80 feet of a right-of-way across the street, starting from the neighbor's property here to our property line over there, which is perfect for us because our property line just happens to be right there. So the nice folks down at the city are saying that we need to go an additional 10 feet from that 80-foot right-of-way. Thank God it's 80 feet because they said it would have been a certain amount and then another 20 feet. And we're going back as far already. So now that I know that we got our 80 foot right up to our property line, I'm gonna take a measurement 10 feet back and see what we're dealing with here. Okay, so here's our 10-foot marker right here. And now that we've got that established, let's see how much room we have to work with now. 7 feet. Well, that's not cool. 7 feet is not going to be cool enough for our tech tiny house build. So what I'm going to need to do is I got to excavate this and take out a whole bunch of dirt all around this location. Moving it back to the fence, which we have to worry about the fence being permitted as well. And then we have to move it in that direction as well. And we got to wait till the city tells us, okay, that sounds great before we do anything, because otherwise you are just going to waste a bunch of money and time, and all that stuff's expensive nowadays. There's barely enough room for me to stare at the ceiling and cry. So with that being said, and waiting on the city for us to get the okay to move forward, let me tell you about all the boring, stupid zoning permit crap. So by putting something in your house, you want it to be able to raise the value of the home. Well, if you don't have it permitted, then the appraiser comes out and he's only going to give you the value of what is actually permitted. Now, the guy that's responsible for the zoning and permits of that thing, that sort of nature, if he comes down the street, or maybe if your neighbor is too tired of hearing all the noise, then they have the ability to come out here and tell you that you have to tear everything down that you've already done. Also, if you want to be able to sell it, you have to do all the modifications and able to sell it for that value. And the bank will only loan the money that is worth the appraisal value. And even if you want to refinance your home, you won't be able to do that because you have all this unpermitted stuff going on. So the bank isn't going to loan you anything. On top of that, you may have some issues with your insurance coverage because you might not even be able to get insurance in the first place, which means you won't get a bank loan. And also, if there's any kind of issues that ever happen, your insurance will not cover it. So in the end, it's just better to get the permit because you don't want to waste all that time and money. You're talking subcontractors and their labor, all the fees and permits. You might be able to get a retroactive permit, but that means you have to have an inspector come out and he's probably going to tell you that you got to demo the whole thing. So you're talking about labor, materials, time, permits, all that stuff that you have to deal with, and it's just better to just do the permits in the first place. Make sure to do this right. Oh shit. So we needed to give the city a call and check on the permits and all that stuff and get to know them, and it was great. But before I could even reach out, they had already called me and told me to get the trailer out of the fucking yard. All right, man, check out the Ubiquity stuff. So we got our G4 Pro up, and man, is that picture super clean. I have this bridge over here, and there's all kinds of hobos and things with their stick and that tablecloth on it with all their crackers or whatever. So this camera has been in so much handyman, and I love that handyman. This camera is absolutely amazing. It has 4K recording capabilities, and it's all hooked up to my exterior hard drive up there. I know these wires look like crap. I'm working on that. And then we got our exterior AP up here, man, and it is super awesome. But because we have the trailer over there, and we need to make sure that we can get some sweet Wi-Fi access there, so I can build this channel, I can make this episode, and I can get all that Wi-Fi access that I need so that I can get in there and play video games when And then we got our G4 Bullet here, which is plenty for what we need. It records in 1080p, and the location is pretty close. And then we've got that camera. The deck is covered in a mold glaze, so it's like slippery as shit. So I put a rug under there and just prayed to sweet baby Jesus I wouldn't fall. So taking our G4 Pro and getting the most out of it, I wanted to make sure that we had it overlooking the entire backyard garden area. Because the G4 Pro, it records in 4K, but you can also zoom in and see whatever you need to see. I can tell which raccoon has, you'd be able to zoom down there if you need to. So if you've got like a deer or like a serial killer coming out of the woods, you can maybe identify him, if the cops are willing to get involved anyway. But at least you've got him on camera so you can warn all your neighbors that somebody's around here. Plus, I like the fact that the little blue light spins in here so that if there is somebody around here, they'll see that they're being recorded, and maybe that will sway them from their evil, shitty deeds. Stop stealing, everybody. We should be helping each other. Come on. Now I got another G4 bullet right up there, and the reason I put it there was so that my mom could watch her birds right there at the bird feeder. However, this G4 bullet does not have zoom, so I'm considering swapping it out with one of the G4 Pros. And what's really cool about Ubiquiti stuff is I can just do that. I can unscrew it, screw it back in a different place. I don't have to readopt it or anything. It'll just start working from that spot. I initially hung the camera up right where those little holes are, but what I did was I cut the wire too short, and it really pissed me off. Instead of doing a new wire, I just went ahead and moved the camera right over here. If I decide that I want to do a G4 Pro instead of my G4 bullet, I just rehang it up, replug it in. I don't have to do anything else. It's already stored. It's already programmed. Here's my last camera right there, my G4 Pro, which has been so great, man. I cannot tell you how awesome the G4 Pro is. I got it in a 3-pack, very easy to set up. Records in 1080, 4K. Put that on your hard drive, man. It looks really, really good. So I wanted to make sure I had something really nice to cover all this area right here. And if I need to zoom in, I can do that. So thanks for checking out the channel, everybody. I love seeing you around. I appreciate your support. As always, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification thing in the corner. I got to show you guys my exterior AP and the sweet Wi-Fi access I get all over this yard. And the G4 Smart Doorbell. Who can miss that? I know I can't miss it. I got to have you guys come back and check it out because I got to also install a transformer. I got to retrofit it. And I looked all over the internet for some kind of a solution and nobody had one. So I'm just going to make it up as I go and just hope for the best. So if anything, just come back and laugh at my failures, but you're gonna wanna come back and check out the update on the tiny house build. That's what we're all here for, man, the tiny house tech build. It's gonna be so badass. So I'm gonna wait and see what the city has to say, see what they're gonna allow us to do. Maybe I'll have a floor plan to show you guys. I'm not really sure, but you're not gonna know unless you come back. And one other thing I gotta show you guys is I wanna show you how my pets have acclimated, at least my dog. He has really come out of his shell, and I got something really funny to show you guys coming up. If you weren't with us on our first tiny house episode, make sure to check out Lone Wolf DIY on YouTube and see the design center that we put up for this thing. And you know, come to think of it, what's really great about Design Center is that you can do all of your edits live. So because of zoning and I have to move this thing out of the way, we're also gonna have to move around our stuff. So once we have a better idea of where we're gonna be able to put this thing and what kind of a floor plan we're gonna be able to come up with, we're gonna hold off on that. And then when we're ready to go, we'll load up Design Center and I'll show you guys how we can move everything with so much ease. So like and subscribe and hit that notification thing in the corner and come back and see me because I love it when you guys come around and I can't do this without you guys. Thanks for checking out the channel, everybody, and have a nice day. I gotta get this shit built as quickly as possible because summertime's coming around and I've got no air conditioning in that trailer and I'm gonna end up baking like an oven. Like an easy bake oven. You know, the one with the light bulb where you can grow like pumpkins or pancakes? You can grow pumpkins with your easy bake oven. Mrs. Fields, hopefully the light bulb cooks the food, or you're gonna die from food poisoning. Probably a reason they don't make that thing anymore. Or do they? You gotta buy it off the Marie Callender black market. Wait, not Marie Callender, Mrs. Fields. How many goddamn cookie dessert ladies do we have out there?